Hello, everyone. Welcome back or welcome to the Aural Theory series. My name is Dr. Julia Alford, and in today's video, we are going to do a lesson in mode mixture. If you don't know what mode mixture is, you should pop below, or I'll leave an iCard there for the short lesson video that I did on what is mode mixture. So make sure you are familiar with that before moving on to this video. And if you're new to this series, you may want to go below and work through the stuff leading up to this, because we are diving into chromatic harmony and we're already a couple lessons in. So check out those if you haven't already, and then come back. Okay, great. So in today's video, we're just going to do one dictation, keep it short and simple. Basically, mode mixture, how to listen for it, what to set up for yourself beforehand, which is actually really important. So if you know that you have mode mixture, or you know you might have mode mixture, you want to think about what is my tonic pitch in the major key, and then the key signature, and then what is the key signature for that parallel minor. Okay, so let's take a look at the dictation for today. We have F major, 9 chords, but the most important thing to think about is, if we're in F major, what is the parallel minor? Okay, so that is B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, so 4 flats. So if we write, before we even do that, let me actually back up a second. You can think about this another way, and you probably should think about this way, is to write out the major scale, right? So F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then when we convert to the minor scale, we lower the 3rd, the 6th, and sometimes the 7th. We'll go ahead and lower that. So basically any chord that has one of those 3 notes in it is it's open for some kind of mode mixture usage. All right, so, and that is also our parallel minor key. So like I said, 4 flats. So you kind of want to be thinking in both keys as you're taking down this dictation. Okay, so let's jump into it. So our starting pitches are F in the bass, and we're also going to have F or do in the top voice as well. And we're going to, as always, we're starting on a 1 chord. You'll probably end on a 1 chord also. So we're going to add on an extra sort of phase in our listening. We're going to do a couple of quick, for my students, very low stakes listenings for the bass, just to kind of sketch out where it's going, to give you a parameter. And then we're going to think through some chord qualities, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do the bass and the soprano, and then we're going to lock everything together. So we're actually adding on two steps, so 4 steps now. So quick bass, quick chord quality, bass and soprano, and then final answer with your chord qualities and identifying those Roman numerals. All right, so let's give it a go. Again, I'm just playing this through my computer. It's a little bit easier than clunking it out on the keyboard, which isn't very great. So let's pop over to the computer system and we'll listen to it together. Okay, so again, these first 2 listenings, you're just listening for the bass. So you're taking it down, you're kind of sketching it out, and likely there's going to be some chromatic pitches, but just try and get the skips and the leaps. If you don't get the accidentals, it's okay. Again, for my students, it's super duper low stakes. It's not going to affect your grade if you don't get all the accidentals right. It's just kind of thinking through where they are. Okay, so let's give it a listen. Okay, so this next listening, I'm going to boost the bass voice a little bit more, and I'm going to slow it down a little, just a smidge slower, so that you can have a shot of really honing in on that. Okay, it's totally okay if you didn't get that whole thing. Let's focus in on a couple things. So it ends on do, and we get sol do at the end. So you can kind of you can almost always kind of just pencil that in for yourself. And let's think through what happens now. If you don't have all of this from this point, it's okay. So we're going do, up a third to mi, and then up a step, and then down. And there's something special about that, but I'm actually going to leave that for now. And then we're going up a fourth. We hear that sort of resolution. Maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. Then down a third. And then we're staying on the same pitch. So we've got some stuff here. It's just a general outline. You're not thinking about the chromatic pitches yet. If you got them, cool. If not, that's okay. You're just looking for the shape. And now we're going to switch gears and we're going to listen for, is it major, minor, dominant, or diminished? Okay, so above each chord, this first one, you're going to mark major because we know it's major. And then you're going to, if it's minor, you could write an M with a line over it. It's dominant, you could do a D or a triangle. If it's diminished, just put a little circle over it. Give this a shot. So 2 listenings for just try and grab the chord quality, get what you can. Again, this is sort of like we're doing the mapping. If you can grab any other mapping cues at this time too, see if you can get the chord qualities in one listening, and then do your like dominant area at the end, your tonic area. Maybe where does a strong predominant happen? If you there's an applied chord or 2 in here also. So let's grab that. So 2 listenings for chord quality. Again, we're not worrying about chords yet, but this will all make sense in a minute. Okay. Totally okay if you didn't get all of it. Let's try it one more time. Okay, so this time, let's see. So if you've got all your chord qualities, which you probably don't, totally fine. But if you do, ask yourself again some mapping questions. Is it tonic expansion at the beginning? Is it something else? All the questions. So try and think through that. And if you need to grab more listings, you can always back up the video and get more listings. Okay. Okay, so let's talk through this. All right, so we've got a major chord followed by a minor chord followed by a major chord. Then we have a dominant chord going to a major chord. And then we have a minor chord, a diminished chord, which is interesting. We don't have a lot of diminished chords in major, right? And then we have our either major or dominant, maybe you're not quite sure yet. And then we end on the major 1. Okay. Okay, so let's think through our solfege here. So we start on do, then we go to mi. Okay, so that immediately major chord followed by a minor chord on mi. That tells you that we have alternative opening at the beginning. If you're not sure what I mean, you can back up and watch the videos again. But basically, if it was a 1-6, it would still be major. Okay, and that would be tonic expansion. If it's major to minor, it's a 1 to a 3, which you could actually go ahead and just sketch in. It's kind of our only option with that combination. Then a major chord on fa. Okay, and then it gets a little funky. So here I hinted that there's something up with this pitch. So let's think about it. we hear that as at least the third scale degree. And it's dominant, and it's resolving up to a major chord on the space where we hear the sixth scale degree. But it's major. What quality is the chord usually on the sixth scale degree? In major, it's minor. So if a major chord on the sixth scale degree, it is a mode mixture has started. And what happens to the sixth scale degree in F minor? It's actually lowered. So that means that this note is lowered, and it is probably a flat six. Okay, I can see that because it's a root position chord. It's a root position dominant chord resolving to a root position chord, and we know that because of this leap here. Okay. Now here's the thing: what's a fifth above D flat? Is it A? No, that would be an augmented fifth. It's A flat. Just pencil that in there. Okay. So that means that this, if we back up, has to be A flat. So that means that our mode mixture maybe starts in there. Okay, well, we've got Fa with a major chord, so that's probably a major 4. So mode mixture hasn't started. Here, we've got that flat 6 with the D flat. And then if mode mixture has started, then kind of we expect it to keep going, at least the way that I write harmonic dictations. Your teachers might be slightly different. But I usually write for my students that once mode mixture has started, it's going to keep going until you get to the dominant chord for the cadence. Okay, so that's kind of the most common practice in classical music, at least. So Fa is flat already. It doesn't change with mode mixture. And it repeats here. So we've got a B flat, and then C and Do. So sol, do. Okay, let's just do one listening for the bass so you can hear that again. Normally in a dictation practice, you get 2 listenings, or however many you get when your teacher does it. But let's listen to once for the bass so you kind of hear that clicking in. Okay, and sorry, I didn't finish labeling the solfege. So it'd be do, mi, fa, me, lay, fa, sol, do. And then also if we're thinking about function, right, this is our dominant chord, this is our tonic chord. One of these in here is our strong predominant. I would probably guess it's the first instance of Fa. We'll label that SPD with a little question mark, but you would expect that there's probably a 4 chord and a 2 diminished 6 chord here with the minor and the diminished quality, but we'll get into that in a minute. Again, if you're not moving this fast, totally fine. Let's do the soprano. Okay, so 2 listens for the soprano. I'm not going to give you any more hints. It starts on do. And keep in mind, when mode mixture starts in the bass, you're going to want the pitches to match in the soprano. Okay, so if there's chromatic pitches in the bass. Actually, before we do that, let's write out the major 6 chord. So it would be D flat, F, A flat. That is the flat 6 chord in the key of F. The 5/7 of that, this is always a good exercise, would be A flat, C, E flat, G flat. So if you have any of these pitches in the right hand, you need to remember to treat the accidentals appropriately. Okay. Let's grab that right hand. Okay, one more listening for the right hand. Okay, so let's think this through. Do, it went down to do, T, right? So a 3-chord is mi, sol, T, so that makes sense. T, La, and then it goes up to Te. Okay, we get that mode mixture in there. It's also the dominant chord that's going to resolve to the flat 6. And then we go to lay, so we get the octave in the outer voices. And then we just stay there, actually, for 3 notes. So that's nice. Anyway, you don't need that second flat. You do need it here at the beginning of the next measure. So lay, 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 and that goes up to T. If you want, you could put a little courtesy accidental there to remind yourself that it's coming back in. And that, of course, T in the outer voice has to resolve up to do for that tonic chord. Okay, so let's do, we pretty much have the chords here, but I'll pretend like we don't. So now take 2 listenings for the chords. So if you didn't get the chord quality before, now's your time to sort of take in all the information that you've gathered. And remember, I talked in the last video, I think, about this dance back and forth between the bass or the bass and the soprano and the chords. You're kind of building information as you go. So now if you had any questions, now's your time to answer them. Okay, so take 2 listenings for chord quality and double check that you've got the chords. And if you know, I haven't filled everything in here, so take a second and fill in what chords you might have in those spaces where I haven't put the answer in already. And then we'll talk about it. Okay, one more time. Okay, cool. So, great. So we have the 1, we have the minor 3, we have the major 4, and then we have the 5, 7 of flat 6. Now, like I said before, you could draw a line and draw a flat 6 if you're looking to save some space. Another appropriate way to do it is to draw a little arrow there. Now you could have gotten confused and thought, oh, well, it's a flat 3 going to a flat 6. And that's why it's so important to hear the dominant quality and that it's not just a flat 3 going to a flat 6. Okay, because there's no real clues in the soprano that would help you figure that out. So you'd have to be listening and hear that dominant pull so that you're not just like, oh, it's a flat 3, flat 6. Okay, so flat 3 to flat 6. And then we've got your minor 4. And as I hinted, the 2 diminished 6. So this is your strong predominant. So we've got 2 strong predominant chords. And then we've got a 5, 7 going to our major 1 chord. And I'll pop the full notation answer up on the screen here. Okay, good. So you probably have questions. Feel free to leave questions below. I have some earlier videos that I've made on mode mixture also that you could find just by searching my channel that are bass only, but they're still good practice. And yeah, leave me some questions. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video. And that's it. I hope to talk to you all soon, and I'll see you in the next one.